There is breaking news tonight out of the Arizona Coyotes organization. There's a possibility that the team might be locked out of their arena as early as December the 20th. What caused this? How can it be fixed? We'll discuss that coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we had some extremely major breaking news tonight involving the Arizona Coyotes and their battle to remain in the desert. Now, of course, this news basically could involve them being locked out of their arena, not at the end of the season when the lease expires, but as early as December the 20th. So let's get into this. We just got a huge story through The Athletic by investigative journalist Katie Strang, who's been one of those great journalists and breaking a lot of this inside news that you don't get a lot of reporters talking about. Her, along with guys like Rick Westhead, have really tackled a lot of these other types of hockey stories. So we certainly appreciate her work in bringing a light to all these matters. Now, what's happened here is on December the 3rd, Arizona Department of Revenue has filed a tax lien notice against Ice Arizona Hockey for $1.3 million. So Ice Arizona Hockey is basically the corporate name of the Arizona Coyotes. That's the corporate entity that owns the Arizona Coyotes hockey franchise. Now, the City of Glendale has been involved in a lengthy dispute with the Coyotes organization over delinquent bills and has already notified ASM, which is the arena management company, and the Coyotes team president and CEO Xavier Gutierrez of the cancellation of the Coyotes business license. The City of Glendale's owed approximately $250,000 in city taxes, and the remainder of that tax lien would be state taxes. So they owe $1.3 million in unpaid taxes. Now, of course, that is not the end of it, though. So what happens now is the City of Glendale essentially is at its wit's end here. They said they've reached a point of no return with the Coyotes organization. They've set a deadline of 5 p.m. on December the 20th to pay all outstanding invoices for the arena for 2020-21 season. So not even the current year. They have still not paid their bills from last season. So we've talked about this before other times. We've talked about this before as well when they talk about new arena and how the new arena is going to be built in Tempe with private money and all that. And I've certainly had my concerns that this was going to be something that actually happens. And here's my point that I made. I don't feel this team is anywhere near being financially secure. And this is just all the proof you need in case you're not believing that. So essentially, if they don't pay all outstanding balances, the City of Glendale is going to inform the arena management company that they will have to lock out all employees and the players out of the arena. That includes arena vendors as well. Like I said, the City of Glendale's informed Gary Bettman of what's going on here, so they're obviously well aware. This news story in The Athletic should not be earth-shattering news to the commissioner. He'd already be aware of this here over the past few days. So certainly, this is major news. They could be locked out of their arena as of December the 20th. I mean, it only gives them a couple of weeks, and if they could not pay their bills from last season, how are they going to suddenly have the money? They're not nearly as financially secure as we would like to think they are. And clearly, even though their new owner is reportedly a billionaire, you have to wonder why things are not being paid the way they are. Now, we've had reports not that long ago about a potential sale of the team. We had reports from a reporter with Forbes saying that there was word through banking sources that the team was being shopped, basically listed for sale, and that with the intention of it being moved to Houston, Texas. Now, those reports were very quickly denied by the team, indicating that when he got word of this, that he was actually just come back from a meeting regarding the new arenas and all this. We had heard that there's been some resistance and things for their bid for the arena in Tempe that they're trying to do. They're meeting some resistance. I don't know exactly what it is that they're having trouble with, but it's reportedly not going well. But as we said before, even if that comes to be, we're looking at a 2 to 3 year period where they're going to basically be homeless and either have to go to another place permanently, or they're going to have to bounce around, like find a smaller arena. Like there are some other locations within the state of Arizona they could do, but it's not going to be easy at all. So when you have reports only a week ago that the team is reportedly for sale with the intention of moving it, and now we find out that they're still behind on last year's bills and they're being threatened to be kicked out and locked out of the arena, why wouldn't you think that there's something to it on those other reports? They say where there's smoke, there's fire. To me, this team is extremely, financially not secure. So, like, something has to give here. This team is not in good shape at all. So I say to those of you that have denied the fact and keeps, every time we talk about it, saying they're not going anywhere, they're going to be getting a new arena in Tempe. Like, it's not even just about having a place to play hockey. This team is bleeding money. And if you take a look at, like today, for example, Forbes put out their the annual list of franchise values. Of course, they were at the very bottom of the league, reportedly valued around $400 million. The top team, which is the Rangers, was not far off, around that $2 billion mark. Major difference between the top and the bottom. And as you see franchise values grow, I think we're going to see more and more teams possibly change hands and change ownership, as owners that are existing right now see a major opportunity to cash in on the increased value and and make big money on it, right? So certainly, I think there's an appetite out there from a variety of different entities to buy an NHL franchise. I don't think they'd have too hard a time getting it sold. I just don't think that, but of course that's with the intention of moving it. I don't know that they would have an easy time finding an owner to take over and making it work. That they've had so many try and struggle, that at what point is it going to be? And basically, we've heard NHL reporters like Friedman and Johnson, etc., talk and say basically to Elliott, to Bettman, what would it take? At what point will you say we absolutely have to move a franchise? Because they don't move any franchise unless it's a 1,000%. Like they have no choice, right? And basically, what Bettman said was, we would only do that when nobody wants to own it anymore in an existing location. So what's got to give here? Like, they got to come up with all this money and get these bills paid. And even if they do, like, who's to say they're not going to run up more debt and run into more problems? And a lot of people thought that there were some that were convinced that the whole City of Glendale basically saying they're not going to renew the lease, and they're trying to, have them basically be evicted or not part of the Gila River Arena anymore as of the end of this year, was like a ploy because they negotiated a longer term lease, or were trying to, and they were not getting anywhere. And they thought that, some people said, oh, it's just a ploy on the city's part, because the team doesn't want to sign a long-term lease agreement, and if they put them in a pickle here, that they'll cave and they'll come back and they'll be able to get more favorable terms, and they'll work it out. And you have to think, well, maybe, but at this point, if they're willing to do this, you have to think they really don't want anything to do with them anymore, because they're tired of the unpaid bills, they're tired of the debt, and it's just not working out. I honestly feel terrible for Arizona fans. Every time we talk about this, there's always a few that say that we want them to move and all this, and you're kind of taking it the wrong way. That's not the case. We're reporting the news. This is a news story about the Coyotes. I feel terrible for the hardcore fans, because I know there are some out there that really care about this team and will be crushed if they do move, and I can't imagine what you'd go through if that indeed does take place. But you have to understand and realize, and just be real here, that this team has lost money forever and has struggled forever. They've struggled with attendance and just the whole thing. It's just a failed experiment for the most part, and it just can't go on forever. So at what point will it finally be sold and moved elsewhere, or what is going to happen with this team? It has serious issues and a short deadline to fix them, or they won't have a place to play. I'm sure that they'll find a way to get this paid, even if the league has to step in and help them or something, because the league has owned the team before. I'm sure Bettman will figure it out so they can at least get through this year. But it certainly leaves you wonder, how in the heck are they going to build a new arena if they can't even pay their bills? Like, it just, I understand there could be other investors and all that, but they're not getting any government money. It was reportedly all private money. I just don't see who would want to invest in this when the team is in this kind of shape. It just doesn't make sense. But we'll see what happens. Let me know what you think. Are the Coyotes going to be able to play their home game on December 23rd? Will they be locked out? Where will they be after this year? Were those rumors of a sale and move to Houston really false? Or could there be more to it given all this new information we just learned here tonight? Let me know your thoughts down below and we'll discuss further. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all 32 NHL teams. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.